everyone. Happy Thursday. It's Thursday. I was going to barbecue, and I changed my mind like 3 times over of what I was going to make tonight because I'm just not sure what our weather is going to do. But I decided to stick with the plan that was the original plan and make queso chicken. So queso chicken is what's on the menu. I got a little bit of it started already. It's going to be a really short video tonight. But if this is your first time watching one of my cooking demos, welcome. My name is Jen Laurie, Executive Director with Epicure, and I'm always after quick and easy meals, but they can't compromise my health. That's the one key. I don't want it to compromise my health. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. So I've got my chicken breasts. I've cut them in half, and I've seasoned them with some queso mix. Okay, that's all I've done. Put some oil in the pan. I'm frying up the chicken breasts. And I use avocado oil. It's got a high smoke point, so it's a lot better to, if you were going to do any sort of frying, it's better to do it with that versus any sort of like olive oil or anything like that. So I'm going to just give this chicken a flip. It doesn't take a long time for it to cook, but I'm just going to flip it over, turn down the heat a little bit. So I had it quite high. And it's got a nice crisp outer edge, just what I wanted. And then I'm gonna show you how we make our queso sauce, and we're gonna make a salsa to top on top of the queso chicken as well. So with the queso, yes, my queso finally arrived. I've been waiting for a shipment of queso for quite some time. It was the taste test for, oh my goodness, what month was it? For April, I want to say. No, for May. May. It was the taste test for May. My shipment came, so now I am really excited to have this back in my hands because I ran out of it. And they brought it back. They brought it back in the 30-day Simple Suppers collection. So super excited. There's another way to get queso in your hands. And there's a brand new recipe in the 30 days of Simple Suppers meal plan, which is super cool. So the queso mix, all you have to do is dump this packet into your pot, or there's also a steamer recipe on there too, but I'm going to use my steamer for cooking up some steamed veggies. So it's the only way to steam your veggies, so I just chose to do this in my multi-purpose pot, which I also love my multi-purpose pot because it is the perfect pot for stirring up sauces and stuff. It's got a lid that has glass on it so you can see through it. It's got strainers if you're doing anything like pastas or anything like that, teas, even some loose leaf teas. It's got the smaller strainers on one side. And we're gonna turn that on to medium. And I'm just going to whisk that, and it's going to thicken up into a sauce. And as it thickens up into a sauce, I'm going to dump just some cheese in there, just some shredded cheese, and the sauce is going to be done. It's that simple to make because we are going to drizzle this over top of the chicken on our plate. Okay, I'm just going to let that heat up and then give it another whisk in a little bit. I've got some broccoli and zucchini in here. That's going to be my base veggies. And all I have to do, I see there's a leaf that I missed in there. All I have to do, this is some of the only veggies I have left in my fridge. So you can pick whatever kind of veggies you want. That's gonna be our green veggies to go with dinner because that's all we had left in the fridge. But I'm gonna pop that in the microwave for just a few minutes, just 3 minutes. One of the best things about using the steamer to steam your veggies is it's waterless steaming. So waterless steaming locks in the nutrients because you're not going to lose all those water-soluble vitamins through osmosis. So it is one of the best ways to cook your veggies if you want a steamed veggie. And the other thing about it is you don't get like that soggy texture when you put it in water. So it is the best way to steam your veggies. I highly recommend it. If you do it, you probably don't do it any other way now because it's just the best way, and you'll learn that once you start doing it. So for my salsa, I'm gonna get going on the salsa here. I've got cherry tomatoes just because it's the only tomato I have. That's what I'm gonna use because any tomato will work. I'm just cutting them into eighths, I guess that would be. Cutting them into eighths. I'm gonna add a little bit of salsa mix, but we're gonna get some heat with the queso sauce and the queso seasoning. And so I'm not gonna put too much. I just want a bit of flavor. I don't want it to be too hot with the salsa. And our salsa mix can be quite spicy if you use a lot of it, or even if you use like what's recommended on it. It is quite spicy. So if you like heat, use the full amount. If you're a little more sensitive to heat, I always recommend to use like a quarter or a half and test it out first. What's really awesome is there's no added sugars in our salsa. So when you make salsa with Epicure salsa mix, you don't get all those added sugars that you might get when you purchase a store-bought salsa. It's also customizable. I'm gonna add a little bit of peppers. I don't know, I think I'm gonna add some peppers. I've got some red onion here I'm gonna add. I wish I had cilantro, but I don't have any cilantro on hand, unfortunately. And I can't seem to keep anything alive growing it myself. If you have any tips or tricks on growing cilantro, please share. I've tried in my arrow garden, I've tried in my tower garden, I've tried to grow it in a pot, I've tried it to grow it outside in the garden. I cannot grow cilantro for the life of me, and I actually love to eat it. So I know some of you probably are laughing right now because you don't like cilantro, but I really love it and would wish I could grow it. So if you have any tips on growing cilantro, I would really, really, really appreciate any tips you have, because I can't seem to keep it alive, and I keep killing all my herbs, to be honest, because I just can't seem to keep them alive, no matter how I grow them. So I would love some growing tips from any of you who are growing your own herbs. I would love to know what your favorite herbs are to grow and what are your tips to keeping them alive, because I can't seem to keep them alive. I really try, but they die before I can even start using them. It's really, really quite terrible, but that's my life right now. Okay, so I've almost got enough tomatoes here for what I need. My veggies are already done being steamed, and I don't have to sit and babysit and run to go drain them because they're sitting in there and they're fine. I don't have to worry about them. It's another great thing about the steamer is you don't have to rush to it to get there to do anything with it. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I've got this on the right way because I want it to dice with my 4-in-1 mandolin. It comes with different pieces, and I love this mandolin because it doesn't take up a lot of space. I've had big bulky ones from other companies before. I just never use them because they're such a pain in the butt to pull out and to clean and all of those things. This is just one little simple thing. It fits flat in my drawer. So I find I use this one a whole lot more. And so I just pop out, it's got 4 different plates that you can slide in there. This one is the larger julienne cut. I just wanted kind of larger chunks of onion, so I'm using that. But what's really cool is when you put the onion crossways, you get these amazing little perfectly diced pieces of onion. That's all I need is just that little bit. I'm just gonna put my onion over here for now. All I needed was that little bit, and I just don't like trying to chop it. My eyes start to water and it drives me crazy. This is just so much easier. You can get it out of the way and then I'm good to go. Now for my pepper, I've changed my mind. I'm not actually going to put it in my salsa because my kids prefer just eating peppers by slices. So I'm actually just gonna let them put it right on top of the chicken fresh, because they don't like it cooked and they're probably not gonna want it in the salsa. They'd probably prefer it outside of the salsa. So I'm going to just cut it into perfect little slices with my ceramic knife, which is super sharp. It makes light work. So I've got my sliced up peppers here. That will be part of what we top the chicken with. My dogs are waiting on standby here. If you know me, you know I've got 3 huskies and they are sitting here because their favorite food just got pulled out. So I'm going to give them their cut, we like to call it. Their cut because they're sitting here patiently waiting for their cut. There you go. There we go. I like to give them the ends because that's kind of like their little healthy treat. They eat raw chicken, so they eat raw food. So this is how they get their vitamins and nutrients, is from our veggie scraps. So that's, this little pile here is actually for my dogs. Okay, I'm gonna check the chicken. I'm gonna take a look at the queso here. It's starting to heat up and thicken up. So it'll thicken up into a sauce. I'm going to check the chicken here. Well, I can see it's not quite done, the fat pieces. So give it another flip, check. Okay, that will be done very soon, but it's not quite done. I have a couple of fat pieces of chicken breast on there, so. My veggies are done. It's that simple. See how vibrant green and beautiful they are? All those nutrients are locked in there. I'm going to slice my limes because we're going to do some fresh squeezed lime. Give everyone their own little lime wedge to put on their dinner plate. I would love to know if you have any recipes that you would love me to make in the upcoming weeks. If there's something you want to see or a product that you're not sure what to do with that you have of Epicure at home, I would love to play around with some recipes for you. So if you do have anything, please shoot me a message. Okay, I'm going to add my cheese. The queso actually has like chunks of peppers, dried peppers in there that are rehydrating. So I can see like these big red chunks in there from the peppers. It's really cool that you can actually see the real food when you're using Epicure. Like I always think of like the Montreal chicken or Montreal steak spice. When I used to buy it in the store, it was just like a powder. But with Epicure, you can like see the chunks of different foods and almost be able to, if you're really good, you could even name the ingredients just by looking at it because it's not just a powder, it's an actual herb and spice that's just not ground down to nothing, but actual food, pieces of food in it. I love that about it. Okay. This is all done. I'm going to grab one of my pieces of chicken that's all cooked. I'm going to plate it up and show you how I will plate this. Now there's a couple of toppings as far as like your carb. I've got some tortilla chips that you can crunch on top if you like that added crunch. I've also got some cooked rice, just some leftover rice that I heated up. I love these 4-cup prep bowls for leftovers. They're so perfect because you can portion it off into one meal or you can put the whole thing like my rice from yesterday. And so I've got that in there ready to go and there's enough portions in there for everybody. Okay. All right, my salsa. I didn't finish making my salsa. A little bit scatterbrained. We need another lime. Another lime here. I'm gonna get my citrus press. I'm gonna use my 2-in-1 citrus press for limes and lemons. It gets all the juice out, which I love and appreciate. It actually flips it right inside out. You've probably seen me do that before if you've been watching me a while, because I'm always excited about this citrus press, because I love that I get to use every last bit without the extra work. No. And then, oh, I just want a teaspoon. So I'm just going to put a teaspoon in there. I'm gonna give it a stir. And then my salsa will be ready also. Oh, it looks amazing. Smells good. I wish I had cilantro. I'm gonna go back and read your tips. I hope you've left me some tips for growing cilantro. Here it is. Look at my salsa. Looks amazing, right? You know you guys love it. Okay, I gotta take this off the heat. It is now officially thickened up and done and ready. Okay, let's plate this for you and take a look and make sure one of my chicken breasts is cooked. Let's see. Let's check this one. Anyone else paranoid and always check your chicken? Okay, that's totally cooked. Okay. So I'm gonna have mine on a bed of rice, just a small bit, not a lot. And then I'm going to put my chicken on top. And then put my veggies in there, because I'm gonna pour that queso right over top of my veggies too. I'm gonna squeeze some lime juice right over top of that. Put some strips of peppers. It calls for avocados. Once again, my avocados were not ripe. I am not having very much luck with those right now. So I can't have avocado on there. But another great thing about the pot, there's a pour spout on there. So not making a big mess, I can pour my queso over top and enjoy. This is dinner. Thanks for watching. Have a great night. Bye-bye.